NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
You know, growing up here in this city, everyone has a real memory and a real story that they talk about or why they came here. And so there's a little bit of nostalgia there. You talked about change and newness, but the notion that there was a nostalgic feel of being what this property was. And I think furthermore, what really made me want to be here was it was no longer that property. And there was a lot of, I don't want to call it neglect, but there was maybe a care and concern to make sure it was relevant in the marketplace, and it just wasn't. And so our parent company, Dreamscape, had this vision to go, let's bring this back to life. And let's not change the name. So it's a big campus that needed attention and someone who believed in it. And now we're back to being something that matters again.
This is Brylan Bentley, and you're listening to NFR Extra.
Well, thank you for joining us, because you guys are doing some really big things at Rio, Patrick. So first off, before we get into what's happening and your very large project and undertaking, how does one become a president and CEO?
Oh, that's a great question. A lot of preparation, a lot of luck. So I spent, just a little bit about me. So I spent 28 years. I was born and raised here in Las Vegas. So I love this town for a lot of things, and went away to school, came back and started at the Mirage in a line level role. So I was working in the pit as an entry level job called a pit clerk, and fell in love with the industry, with gaming, what it was, the excitement of what this city was all about. And, through my life at MGM, almost 28 years at MGM, just over 28 years at MGM, I got to do, 18 different jobs, and all through gaming and non-gaming, and got a view into many different divisions and departments, and ultimately, interviewed to run one of them for MGM Resorts. I got the chance to run Monte Carlo as its president, and then ultimately take that over to Park MGM. And so work on design and development and kind of reinventing a property, not too dissimilar that I'm doing here. And then kind of finished that run with MGM, where I thought, okay, I'd done it all, and took some time, some good family time, and took a break, and got asked if I had another one in me to do this again, and would I be open to take on albeit different, maybe tougher, but different project in the Valley, and come over here to Rio and figure out this building and what we needed to do to bring this back to life. And so it's been great. I've been blessed to do it. So that's kind of how I've become a property president and a CEO, is doing a lot of different other jobs. And a lot of luck, and a lot of good people around me.
Before getting into management, what job do you feel like along the way you learned the most at?
Well, I think I learned something from every role I learned. You learn, things in the role. I would like to say, you learn from people. It's weird. I don't know if the job teaches you as much, and it's not always the people above you. You certainly have leaders that are mentors that teach you how to act, how to deal with people, how to deal with problems, how to negotiate, how do you deliver, how does good news travel fast, but bad news travels faster, all those kind of, idioms that have been around in the world. But you also learn from the team around you. When you manage these buildings, especially in hospitality, they're labor intensive. You've got massive teams. And these people have lives outside of the building, and they don't always care so much about the building itself, but they care about doing a good job. They care about their customer in front of them every day, whether they're pitching cards or serving a drink or whatever they're doing. And so you learn a lot from those individuals too, of how to interact with people and what's important, and being being a servant leader for them too. What do they need to be successful? So I think those are the learnings that I've had, and I've had them in every job. But anytime I've had to manage people and really deal with the issues that they go through, it's helped me grow, at least in this industry in hospitality, because we're a people business.
Right. And Vegas is top notch at that. I mean, second to none. One thing that I find crazy, I love Las Vegas, and blessed to go out there a few times a year. Something about Las Vegas, though, that is different, in my opinion, from every other city is that it's constantly changing. And like you're saying, these big undertaking, these big projects of refacing something, of completely redoing it. In a lot of other parts of the world or the nation, I think that would be frowned upon, for people like, oh man, I love this place, and then it changed, and I don't go back. But Vegas, on the contrary, it seems like they're continually building, continuing to improve on the buildings, on their product, on their services. And that's got to be kind of a very unique aspect of your industry as well, because yes, the hospitality side, where you continue to put forth your best foot and provide the best service possible. But it's always like, you're not just stuck in some pigeonhole of like, this is the way it's done, this is how we have to do it, this is the way it's always been. It's like, dude, what can we do better? What can we do different? It's like unlimited growth. And if something can happen and change for a positive, like Las Vegas seems like the breeding ground of where that's completely acceptable. Yeah.
You're a advocate and a acolyte for Vegas there. That's the perfect definition. It is a city that continues to amaze. And I love that. I look out my window now and I'm looking at the Sphere, and I'm thinking I can see the Mirage over there, and that's that's a property that's gonna reinvent another level of Las Vegas. And we're coming up, weekend to F1. It's a city that's continually evolved, and I think it's part of its recipe for success is that it continues to grow and change the face of entertainment, or that the vacation, or whatever you want to call it, really is entertainment for the world. And the world, I think the world does look to Las Vegas to go, what's happening, what's new, what else can we do? And then, the scale of the city now, it's so amazing to see that happen to come to life. You think about, I mentioned F1, in a couple of weeks, we have F1 coming in here. It's, last year was incredible. And again, another moment in Las Vegas where I was like, okay, a whole new group of visitors came to see what we're about. And it's way more international than we've ever seen in this city.
So with that, with the perpetual growth of Las Vegas, is that something that do you find difficult, to where it's like, man, we can't just get comfortable in our own skin right here?
It's weird. I don't think it's difficult. I guess I could see that, the analogy is of, change is, no one likes change, and change is difficult. I love it. I love changing, and seeing something new. And I think it makes us better from a competition standpoint and what's out there, and going to see. Have you guys seen the show at the Sphere yet in Las Vegas?
Not yet.
So, it changed the way a concert could be. And I went to go see U2, and then a couple other shows there. But I think the notion that that's what makes all the different various companies think a little different about how what else should we be doing? If we're going to build a showroom, what should it look like? If we're going to build an arena, how should it be different? And you think about Allegiant. If you've seen a game for Allegiant for the Raiders, I've been to a lot of NFL games. Allegiant is fantastic. It's a great place to watch a game.
Well, it's funny you talk about the Sphere, because my dad is going to watch the Eagles during the NFR. Yeah. And at first he was like, oh, I'm going to the Eagles concert. And I said, hold on, Dad, let me look up your tickets. And when I saw I was in the Sphere, I'm like, no. I know, you've heard the Eagles songs, but the venue that you're going to is unlike any other. So I'm a little jealous of that.
What the best line of that, Andy, if you would have said, listen, Dad, take it easy. I can whistle up it.
Take it easy. Love it. That's a good.
Well, he's got a peaceful, easy feeling about it now.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that's good hit there. Peaceful.
So what was the hook to get you into Rio, Patrick? Because you gave us a little bit of your resume, and it's pretty impressive. But obviously, it had to have been a great lineup or some changes that you were really excited about to bring you in.
Yeah, first of all, I love our ownership as a group out of New York City. and they had an opportunity to buy this property that was something very special when it first opened in the Las Vegas Valley. It was kind of this first property that opened up almost 35 years ago, right? Mirage opened up in 1989. This opened up 3 months later in 1990. And it was the first property that was lived off the Strip, appealed to the local market, appealed to the Vegas visitor, and was exciting for both. And so now there's maybe others examples of that in the marketplace, but growing up here in this city, it was, everyone has a real memory and a real story that they talk about or why they came here. And so there's a little bit of nostalgia there. You talked about change and newness, but the notion that there was a nostalgic feel of being what this property was. And I think furthermore, what really made me want to be here was it was no longer that property. And there was a lot of, I don't want to call it neglect, but there was maybe a care and concern to make sure it was relevant in the marketplace, and it just wasn't. And so our parent company, Dreamscape, had this vision to go, let's bring this back to life. And let's not change the name. Let's not, demolish it and start over, because the Rio sits on 90 acres, kind of strip adjacent, just off the Las Vegas Strip. So it's a big campus that needed attention and someone who believed in it. And it has an amazing, still does today, have an amazing group of employees, a lot of day one employees that kind of watched this property and was something special to not be as special. And now we're back to being something that matters again. And so we're just on the first phase of that mattering. And it's been exciting. So that's what sealed the deal, is to be part of something that is really the process of, we call it, bringing an icon back, and or an icon reborn in the city. And you don't get too many chances to do that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing to be part of that and to kind of get your fingerprints all over. Yep. Something that's that major, and coming back to where, you do have to have the belief not only on the people that have continued to work there, that have been a part of it forever, but like the future growth of this thing. So what's the big picture look like for Rio?
Yeah, big picture, I think first of all, I think it lives in those areas. We got a couple of things going for us. We're still very accessible. So when you think about the local market and them wanting to come in here, we have free parking. That's a big deal. It's big accessible. You don't have to deal with a lot of traffic and energy and time to navigate a lot of the Strip properties. For most of Las Vegas, we're easy to get in and out of. And when you come in, we're approachable. You can understand the property once you're in it, and be able to, see your friends at the center bar, or playing blackjack, or at the restaurant bar, whatever it is. It's relatively easy to understand the property and how it works. We also have 250,000 square feet of convention space. So we also appeal to the corporate and the group traveler that's in Las Vegas. And it's some of the best convention space in the market. It's all single story, first floor convention space, short walk internal walk from the rooms. So the ability to live as a group business, and kind of the Sunday through Thursday business when corporate groups are coming into Vegas, and then be an exciting property on the weekend. I think that's the end game for Rio. Now, as I said, we live on 90 acres. So we haven't developed about 22 acres. So I'm not able to talk about it, but we got a lot of ideas for what we could do on that back acreage that is important, not just for Rio, but also for Las Vegas as a whole. So hopefully more time we talk, we can talk more about that.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Looking to rope in some news and features you can't find anywhere else? Then look no further than the series of blogs at nfrexperience.com. You'll find customized content from experts in all things rodeo and Las Vegas. There's the NFR Insider, The Mental Game, and One-on-One with Susan Canode, Gold Buckle Buzz with Brian Hurlburt, NFR Experience with Patrick Everson, and the Junior World Finals with Jack Nowlin. There's something for all rodeo fans. Check it out at nfrexperience.com. The biggest stage, the brightest lights, the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Now, as far as activations for the NFR, what can our type of fans expect to see?
Yeah, NFR is exciting. We're I've done a lot of NFR. Obviously, growing up here, we are people don't realize that Las Vegas is a cowboy town. We talk about it often, and growing up in Nevada, I've loved watching what happens here with NFR. And continues to foster kind of a Western lifestyle and mindset. So we're going all in at the Rio. We've kind of sponsored a Rio roundup. We're doing that with Roper and Stetson and a couple other partners. We've got key partners. The Cowboy Lifestyle Network is a great partner of ours. Who's going to help us with our watch party, our after party. We're also doing a late night event up at our Voodoo Lounge, which overlooks the whole strip. It's going to be a fun time. We've got Matt Merritt is going to be our host for the event, so he's a lot of fun and people enjoy him. He's got a great sense of humor and certainly engaging. So he's going to do it's part of our nightly event. We've got our Country Christmas. So Stetson has their Country Christmas with all their vendors in our back convention area that I just talked about. So there's a lot going on every day during the NFR.
I love Matt Merritt.
Yeah, he's great.
Yes, he is.
He's pretty spectacular as a human being. Not bad as a clown either. What is what is like the one thing that you guys have there restaurant wise that is kind of the star in the sky?
Yeah, well, funny that you say the star in the sky. We got Star in the Sky. Voodoo Steakhouse is the steakhouse that lives at the top of one of our towers. It's situated where it's got a indoor setting, but you got an outdoor patio as well that you can go out there and walk. It faces basically a full view of the strip. You're up 50 stories. And so it's just an amazing thing. Right above that is our Voodoo Lounge. That's where we're doing a rodeo after dark event on the weekends for like a late night lounge. So that is amazing. Great quality steaks and obviously a great view to go with it to see Las Vegas. So that's definitely a must-see destination restaurant. But we've also got a new restaurant we opened up just this summer called Luckily. And Luckily is kind of an upscale bar or mid-class steakhouse is what I say, but mid-level steakhouse where it's not so pricey in that, but it's really comfortable. It's got a lot of rock and roll and kind of the best sounds of the last 4 decades of music in there and great cocktails. So that's right off the casino floor. It's been in one of our popular spots that have opened to at the Rio.
So with $340 million out there for your renovations, what does that involve? What does that entail?
Yeah. So the original budget on our renovations has been about $340 million. We started with the rooms. So we've got 1,500 of our rooms are all redone. Those are all suite level rooms. They're basically our Rio's, really positioned as an all suite hotel, where the smallest room is about almost just under 600 square feet. So really large rooms. They've got pull-out couches, 65-inch TV, whether you book a king or a double queen bedroom. There's tons of space in there. So I think that's the first dollars were spent into that. It's one of the largest. There's only two other products larger in the Las Vegas market for a room size. So we're fortunate with that regard. So great room product. We've gone through our whole pool segment, a little cold over NFR during the pool, obviously, usually. But our pool, we got a 3-acre pool that is all redone with new cabanas, new pool furniture, new decking. Our convention center is all redone. And then our main casino floor, all new slots, carpet, slot chairs, new table games have all been redone. So the property, when you walk in, all new lighting and chandeliers as well. So property feels incredibly new when you walk in. We just in the last week finished our check-in desk, so that got renovated as well. In the center of the property itself is a lounge we call Lapa Lounge, which is really just a great center bar. We do live music every night there. So just a fun place to be where there's something going on every night. And that lives in the center of the setup. So those are a big part. I'm missing Canteen. So Canteen is our food hall. We've got 6 venues in our food hall. that provide just a quick bite. Want to go in there. You might not want a full sit down, order dinner or meal, but for lunch or dinner, you want to grab something, and maybe you're off to the rodeo, or maybe you're off to go see Country Christmas. It's one of our most popular spots, and we've got hand roll sushi in there. We've got a Tony Luke's, which is the best of Philadelphia cheesesteaks. We've got Master Foods Shogun Ramen. We've got Attaboy Burgers, which is one of my favorite burger in the city. And we've got a Sedona burritos, so Southwestern burrito. And then we have, I missed the last, Tender Crush chicken fingers. So
yeah, you had me at hand rolled sushi and ramen. So
yeah,
if
good.
you go to Voodoo, eat a steak, have a nice late night out, and then sushi before you go to bed, and then wake up around lunchtime the next day.
Yeah, they call that breakfast when you're having sushi after.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So we're gonna edit this out if I'm wrong, but I want to say that I was talking to Matt Merritt one year when he was, I believe he was hosting that. He's hosted that previous years, correct?
Yeah, I think last year was his first year here,
okay.
And it was kind of a starter. It was the Dreamscape took the helm, although we bought it in 19. They took the helm in 2023 in October, so it was kind of just starting up with trying this. This is going to be a lot different this year.
Okay, one thing that I was impressed with Las Vegas as a whole, in my younger years, everybody said, "Oh man, I'd never take my kids to Las Vegas. There's no place for kids." And then as I had kids and then working with Las Vegas events, my wife and kids would come out. And I was completely blown away with how friendly most places are in Las Vegas for kids. There's always something to do. There's always, something. So is Rio, this new direction, is this going to be like kind of a little bit more bring your family, or is this going to be bring the work crew and leave the kids at home?
Yeah, I think the best way to answer, we love everybody. And right. I think you got to come to Vegas. I think that's what makes Vegas a success. I mean, we're not unfamily friendly. We're not overtly family friendly.
Right.
I think it's a great room where families can enjoy it, where if you have kids younger, where they're in your room with you, great. But it's also feels welcome for that. So I think some of that is, you got to be ready for whatever Vegas delivers you. And we know what happens in the summer. Families are on vacation, so they travel a little different. Certainly NFR becomes, it's a little bit of both. So I think that they'd feel welcome and not out of place if they're here. And then on the same thing, if you want to be away from the kids, the place is big enough where you can be away from them if you just want to, enjoy the night and not be around the other people's kids.
Right. Yeah. When you were talking about the room renovation and the pull-out couch, I was like, all right, I got to figure this out. Is this with your kids or not? Because that's how I'm like.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because your wife's going to ask you. That's the bigger, the one with the purse strings that's going to ask you.
Yeah.
So as far as entertainment goes, Patrick, who are your standard bearers, not just during the NFR?
Yeah, so we do. So the entertainment. So we've got 4 showrooms on Rio's campus. So we've got Penn and Teller. They're coming up on their 50th year together entertaining, which is amazing that these two guys have been together that long. And they're almost 25 years here at the Rio itself. So they're long-standing staples in our market and obviously for our property. We love them. They film their Fool Us Now TV show here on property, which is great as well. So they're in one theater. We've got Wow, which is it's kind of an artistic comedy, think circus, but way more refined with Wheels of Death and fun kind of avant-garde kind of performances that are really exciting, more approachable maybe than something up and down the strip. So there's Wow Theater, and it's in the Round. It's actually in the same theater where Prince used to perform in his residency here at Rio. So it's in this really cool venue that's very tight. So you're very close to the entertainers. We've got our Comedy Cellar, which is always, out of New York. They've got their flagship in New York. We're kind of their secondary property that they rotate through the best of the comedians that are touring and traveling. So they're performing nightly. And then we have Chippendales as well, which is over our Masquerade Village. So that's our main entertainment. And then nightly, we do live entertainment, as I said, out of our Lapa Lounge, and on the weekends, We do live bands in our Masquerade Theater on the stage there. I believe in live music. I think it makes the property come alive. I think the consumer loves it. There's too many places in Vegas that have kind of gotten rid of that. So we love live music and love to keep it around here at Rio.
No, that's awesome. That's insane. It's staggering too, to where like at the beginning of this conversation of, what got you to where you're at and what you did and that, but to sit there and list off the intricate details of everything that's taking place, of all of the things that are available. I mean, this is a man that loves the property and the people that work there and the people that come there. So
I certainly do. And thanks, Steve. I wouldn't say it without the roughly 1,500 team members that are the Rio. They do all the hard work. I try not to take any credit for it because they really do. And they're whether they're, again, as I said, they're dealing cards or they're helping you out, getting you the right cocktail. That's we talked about in the beginning of hospitality. That's what Vegas is about. And you said, we do it better than anyone else. We do that because of those folks, and they do just an amazing job. I'm blessed to work with them.
It is definitely humbling to hear the type of servant leadership that you are putting together at Rio. Thank you so much, Patrick, for joining us here at NFR Extra, and we can't wait to see you when we get to Vegas. Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit nfrexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.